Good morning everyone. Welcome to online classes. In this class, we shall discuss about the calculation of new profit sharing ratio under case number 3. In my previous videos, we shall discuss about the case number 1 and case number 2. That is, in case number 1, both old share and share sacrifice they are given. With the help of that, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. In case number 2, so old ratio they are given. Instead of that, the new profit sacrifice ratio is given. With the help of these two, we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. In this class, we shall discuss about the old ratio as well as the new partner share only is given. During that time, how we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio, that everything we have to discuss in this video only. Let's come and discuss about the case number 3. Case 3, when the
old ratio
of
old
old
partners
partners
and
the share of
new partner only given.
This is the case number 3, when the share of old partners old ratio is given. Instead of that, the share of new partner only is given. Only two things will be available in the question. During that time, we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Let's come to how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. In this case,
First
we have to calculate remaining share. Come on.
It can be calculated by subtracting new partner share from one.
Then
The remaining share is multiplied with old share
old share
of old partners to calculate new ratio.
New profit sharing ratio. So this is clearly says that how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio in the under case number 3. So in the case number 1, we should implement direct formula, that is old ratio or old share into share sacrifice directly. Both the things will be available in the question. We have to implement the direct formula. In the case number 2, old share they are given, new partner share they are given. Instead of that, sacrifice the ratio also given. During that time, we have to calculate the first share sacrifice. Later, we have to implement the formula. Directly, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. But in the case number 3, when old ratio of old partners and the share of new partner only two values will be available in the question. During that time, how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio means, in this case, first we have to calculate remaining share. The step number 1, first step, it will say that we have to calculate the remaining share. How the remaining share is calculated means, remaining share is calculated by subtracting a new partner share from 1. Whatever the new partner share is whatever it may be they are given, we should always deduct it from the number 1. So we have to deduct it from the number 1. We will get remaining share. After calculation of the remaining share, then the remaining share is multiplied with the share of old partners. Here the direct formula will not be applicable under case number 3 and case number 4. Here different formulas we have to implement it. Only the share sacrifice is given, then when sacrifice ratio is given, the direct formula is applicable to calculate the NPSR, new profit sharing ratio. While come to the case number 3 and case number 4, the direct formula will not be applicable. According to this manner, we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Let's come to the particular solution related to the new profit sharing ratio. Question number 1.
Raja and Rani are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2.
3:2. So
They admit
monthly
into partnership and give him 1/6 the share.
1/6 the share.
Full stop. Calculate NPS.
Calculate new profit sharing ratio. So this is the question which is available. With the help of this question, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. Very simple question. Very simply, you have to get 6 marks related to this chapter. So here, first we have to read the question. We have to understand this question. We have to make a note what the information is available. Here, Raja and Rani are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2. First itself they are given ratio, that is 3:2. This ratio we should be considered as a old ratio. They admit monthly into partnership and give him 1/6 share. So this will belongs to the new partner's share. With the help of this share, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. Rules also we have to note that. So here, when the old ratio of old partners is given and the share of new partner only is given, only 2 values will be available in the question. During that time, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. So here, that it will be explains that the case, in this case first we have to calculate the remaining share. And the step number 1, we have to calculate remaining share. Step number 2, it will say that we have to with the help of the remaining share, we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Let's come to the solution. Before that, we will make a note what the information is given. So in that, name of partners, that is Raja, Rani, monthly. Raja, Rani, and monthly. Old ratio given. Raja is 3, Rani is 2, monthly is 5. Instead of this, one more value there is given. New partner share. 1/6. 1/6 share. Only these two things are available in the question. With the help of this, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. So we have to follow 2 steps only. Step number 1, we have to calculate remaining share. After that, with the help of remaining share, we should calculate new profit sharing ratio. Let's come to the solution. Step 1. Calculation of remaining share. Remaining share. This is step number 1. Calculation of remaining share. How the remaining share is calculated? So in the case itself we will be explained clearly. Remaining share, it can be calculated by subtracting the new partner share from 1. What the new partner share is given, based on that will be deducted from number 1. Then we have to get the remaining share. So here remaining share is based on new partner share. New partners share. That is 1/6 share. That is 1/6 share. Therefore, remaining share is equal. Remaining share is equal 1 minus 1 divided by 6. Because remaining share always is a subtraction of the new partner share from number 1 they are given. So we have to deduct new partner share from 1. We will get exactly remaining share. This is equal. Therefore, so we should consider 6 only the base, because the 6 only the highest frequency. We will multiply from the denominator to the left hand side. 6 ones are 6 minus 1 ones are 1. Therefore, remaining share is equal. Remaining share is equal 5 divided by 6. What the thing we have to get? In the first case, step number 1, we have to calculate the remaining share. Step number 1. With the help of step number 1, we have to move to the step number 2. Remaining share we should calculate it only once. It will be converted into both the partners. Let's come to the step 2. Step 2. Calculation of new profit sharing ratio. Calculation of new profit sharing ratio. So under case number 3 and case number 4, the direct formula will not be applicable, because here the direct formula it will say that old share into share sacrifice they are given. But in the question itself, the case number 3 they didn't mention about the share sacrifice. They didn't give about the details about the sacrifice ratio. They didn't give on the share sacrifice. Only the new partner share they are given. So here the formula will be changed. How to calculate MPSR according to case number 3 means MPSR is equal old share into remaining share. Remaining share. So it's very important and content which is related to the case number 3, because the formula directly will not be affected. So here the formula will be changed, old share into remaining share. When means if the old ratio and the new partner share only is given, during that time the formula will have to select a different formula, will not be taken as a direct formula. Now we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio of Raja is equal, old share already we know that is 3 divided by 5. So symbol as it is, multiplication symbol is there in the middle of the fraction. The multiplication symbol is there, as it is we have to write, and the remaining share is 5 divided by 6. Therefore, so here in the middle of the two fractions, addition or subtraction symbol is there, means we will make them to the cross multiplication. But whenever the multiplication symbol is there, means numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator, we should multiply, we will get the exactly new ratio. Therefore, NPSR is equal 3 into 5 and 3 into 5 into 5 into 6. We will get exactly the new profit sharing ratio. So 3 5s are 15 divided by 6 5s are 30. So the new profit sharing ratio of Raja is 15 divided by 30. Let's we have to calculate Let's move to the new profit sharing ratio of Rani. NPSR of Rani is equal, old ratio is 2 by 5 into 5 by 6, remaining share is 5 by 6. Therefore, NPSR is equal 5 2s are 10 divided by 6 5s are 30. The new profit sharing ratio of Rani is equal 10 divided by 30. Let's see how to calculate NPSR of monthly. Monthly, that is 1/6 share. We should convert this value to some value. So therefore, NPSR is equal. So NPSR is equal. So 15 divided by 30 is to 10 divided by 30 is to
10 divided by
30 is to, again 30 is common will be there. While adding these two and deducting from denominator, we will get the missing frequency. 15 plus 10 25, 25 minus 30 will get 5, or that means 6 will be multiplied with 5 times, we will get the exact 30. Let's see how to cancel all the denominators, because all the denominators will have the same frequency, so we should be cancelled. Therefore, NPSR is equal 15 is to 10 is to 5. Again, all the frequencies should be divisible. If it is not divisible, means we should keep this one as a new profit sharing ratio. It should be cancelled, or it should be divisible by particular frequency. That is 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, 5 threes are 15. So here new profit sharing ratio is 3 is to 2 is to 1. So this will be calculated under case number 3 with the help of the different formula. When old partners and old ratio and the share of new partner is only given, we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. This is the first question. I think you people have been understood. We have to in the same question we have to discuss one more question related to this case number 3 only. I think you people have been understood the first illustration related to the case number 3, why we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. So like this manner only we have to take one more question related to the case number 3. Later we have to go to the case number 4. Let's come to discuss about the one more question related to the same case only. Let's come to the question number 2.
X and Y.
X and Y
Are partners.
are partners
Sharing losses.
sharing profits and losses
In the ratio of
in the ratio of
4:3.
4:3. Full stop. They are made
Z.
admit
Z.
Z into
Partnership.
partnership
And give
and give him
2 by 9.
give him 2 by 9
Share.
share.
Calculate interest.
Calculate new profit sharing ratio. So this is the question. Very simple question they are given. So first we have to read the question. X and Y are the partners. Sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 4:3. They are given old ratio. 4:3 is the old ratio. They admit Z into partnership and give him 2 by 9 share. Calculate NPSR. So here also we have to clear that old ratio is given, new partner share is given. Instead of that, they didn't give anything. So it will belong to case number 2. We have to adjust that. We have to understood that one. With the help of these two values, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. First, we will make a note. Given information, what the information is given, that we have to make a note. So in that, first name of partners. Here X, Y, Z, 3 members are the partners. So here old ratio that is given, that is 4:3. Z is hyphen. Instead of that, new partner share. New partner share, that is 2 divided by 9 portion they are given. 2 by 9. Now we have to calculate NPSR, that is question mark. So this is the information which is available in our question. What the information is given, what the information is not given. So what we have to calculate it. That's first we have to know. So here actually new profit sharing ratio is calculated by subtracting the share sacrifice from old ratio or old share. Old ratio is there, share sacrifice is not given. So direct formula will not be applicable. So this question belongs to case number 3. By seeing these two values, by assuming these two values, we have to imagine that this question belongs to case number 3. So in the case number 3, we follow 2 steps. Step number 1. Step 1. Calculation of remaining share. Calculation of remaining share. This is step number 1. So how the remaining share is calculated? Remaining share is based on new partner share. New partners share, that is 2 by 9 share. Therefore, remaining share is equal 1 minus 2 divided by 9. 1 minus 2 divided by 9. Now we have to deduct this value from the denominators and we have to take it as a particular frequency that will be considered as a remaining share. Therefore, remaining share is equal 9 as a base. 9 ones are 9 minus 1 twos are 2, that is 7 divided by 9 is the remaining share. Step number 1. First we have to calculate the remaining share. So how this share has been placed? 9 is the base. We should consider as a denominator should be the base. So now 9 should be multiplied with 1. 9 ones are 9. So symbol as it is minus is there. Again 1 twos are 2. So therefore 9 minus 2 7 divided by 9. So this will be considered as a remaining share. Step number 1 is completed. With the help of step number 1, we should move to the step number 2. So here step 2. Calculation of NPSR, new profit sharing ratio. We have to calculate it. So for this also the formula will be changed. Therefore NPSR is equal old share or a ratio into remaining share. So this is the formula. With the help of this formula, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. Here old ratio is there, but share sacrifice is not given, so the direct formula will not be applicable. Here old ratio is there, sacrifice ratio is not given, so we won't calculate the share sacrifice. So here only old share is there, new partner share is there, so the formula we have to select it in a different manner. Therefore, NPS or of x is equal, old share we know that 4 divided by 7 into the remaining share already we should calculate it 7 divided by 9. Therefore, we should multiply numerator to numerator, we should multiply denominator to denominator, we have to get the new profit sharing ratio. So here 4 sevens are
28.
28 divided by 7 9 sevens are 63. We have to get, so the new ratio of Mr. X is 28 divided by 63. Let's come to NPSR, new profit sharing ratio of Y is equal, so 3 by 7 into 7 divided by 9. Therefore, again the meaning of the frequencies, both the fractions, the symbol is multiplication symbol. So into mark is there in numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. We should multiply. So 7 3s are 21 divided by 9 7s are 63. Again we have to calculate NPSR of Z is equal. So 2 by 9, or we should convert this one into the ratio. So therefore NPSR of X, Y and Z is 28 divided by 63 is to 21 divided by 63 is to, again 63 will be the common. So therefore 28 plus 21 we will get 49 minus 63 we will get the missing frequency. The missing frequency is 14 is the missing frequency. By adding these 3 we will get the value of the equal denominator value, then we have to get the missing frequency. Therefore NPSR of X, Y and Z is, so all 63 we have to cancel. We will get 28 is to 21 is to 14. This will be considered as a new profit sharing ratio. If it is divisible, or we should write for this value, we have to simplify this one. Whether it is divisible means we will be simplified. Whether it is not divisible means we don't need to simplify. We will keep this one will be considered as a new profit sharing ratio. All the 3 values should be divisible by a single frequency, single table, single fraction. That is, from 7 table, both the things will be cancelled. 7 2s are 40, 7 3s are 21, 7 4s are 28. Therefore, new profit sharing ratio of X, Y and Z is NPSR of X, Y, Z is equal 4 is to 3 is to 2. So if it is simplified means we will simplify like this. If it is not simplified means it is not moved to the same case. So like this manner we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio under case number 3, when old ratio and a new partner share only 2 values are available means it belongs to case number 3. So I think you people have been understood in the case number 3. We completed case number 1, completed case number 2, case number 3. Now we have to finish. Next we have to move to the case number 4, when old ratio, new partner share and agreed ratio, these 3 things will be available means then we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio, that will be discussed later. Let's we have to discuss about the case number 4 related to the exact this chapter. This is the last case because the which we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. Case 4.
When the
In this case, when
when the share of
share of
new partner
new partner
is given and also states that the ratio in which the remaining share is shared by all partners.
This is about case number 4. When the old ratio is also given, instead of that, the new partner share is given and also says about the agreed share related to the old partner. During that time, we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. In this case also, we won't implement a direct formula related to calculation of new profit sharing ratio. Only in NPSR case number 1 and case number 2 only we have to implement a direct formula. Case number 3 and case number 4 will not be implemented direct formula. We have to choose alternative formula to calculate new profit sharing ratio. So here also we follow some steps. So step number 1, it will say that in this case first we have to calculate remaining share. Point number 2.
The remaining share is multiplied among the old partners in the ratio in which they agreed the remaining share is shared.
Calculation of NPSR. This is related to the case number 4. In this case, old ratio is also available. New partner share is also available. Instead of that, agreed share is also given. During that time, how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio? This clearly we have to know that when the share of new partners given and also state the ratio in which remaining share. So here they are given remaining share is shared by old partners. If these two things is given in the question, means we have to assume this belongs to the question case number 4. Agreed, the term agreed they are given in the question is we can assume that belongs to the exactly case number 4. So in this case, first we have to calculate the remaining share. In the step number 1, it is clearly explains that first we have to calculate the remaining share. Why means to calculate new profit sharing ratio. After calculation of remaining share, how to calculate it? Remaining share always should be based on new partner share and it is subtracted from number 1. From number 1, we have to deduct the value, we will get remaining share. After calculation of the remaining share, the remaining share is multiplied among the old partners in the ratio in which they agree to remaining share is shared. What the agreed share they are given, that share we have to multiply with the remaining share, then we have to get new profit sharing ratio. It is just related to the case number 2, but it is not the like same manner. In the case number 2, direct formula is applicable. In the case number 4, indirect formula is applicable for calculation of new profit sharing ratio. Next, we have to move to the particular question related to this case. So, case number 4 will be explained how to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Let's move to the question number 1 related to the case number 4.
P and Q.
P and Q are partners. Sharing profits and losses
In the ratio of
of
5:3.
5:3. Full stop. They admit R into partnership
and
give him
1/5 share.
give him 1/5 share.
Full stop. P and Q agreed
P and Q agreed
to share
the remaining share
in the ratio of
3:2 of 3:2.
इसका calculate कैसा
Calculate this is the information which is available in our question. So this is the information which is available in this question. So first we have to read the question. P and Q are partners sharing profit and losses in the ratio of 5:3. This ratio we should consider as an old ratio, but according to this case, old ratio will not be affected to the particular question. Here we have to ignore the old ratio. Instead of that, what they are given, they admit R into partnership and give him 1/5 share. This is very important content which is available in case number 4. That is 1/5 share that belongs to the new partner share only. P and Q agreed to share remaining share. Here agreed ratio is given in the ratio of 3:2. So 3:2 is the agreed ratio. Calculate new profit sharing ratio. Same question they will ask in the case number 2, but here the term agreed is not given, which are sacrificed or which are sacrificed in the proportion they are given that belongs to case number 2. When the term agreed is given, means agreed belongs to the case number 4. So old ratio is given, new partner share is given, and also agreed ratio is given. If the three values are given, this question belongs to case number 4. So we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Next we have to make a note. First we have to note down given. What the information is given, that we have to make a note. So in that name of partners. So here P, Q, R. Next, for this they are given old ratio already which is available in our question, that is 5:3. First partner is 5, second partner is 3, third partner is 5. Instead of this, one more value is given, new partner share. That is 1/5 they are given, and also they are given agreed ratio. That is P and Q only agreed to share the remaining share in the ratio of 3:2. So now we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. This is the content which is available in our question. With the help of this, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. According to case number 4, we should ignore old ratio. We have to consider new partner share and agreed ratio. You have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. So in this case, first we have to calculate the remaining share that belongs to step number 1. Step 1. Calculation of remaining share. remaining share. Calculation of remaining share. First step, we have to calculate this one. How to calculate remaining share? Remaining share is based on new partner share. New partners share. That is, new partner share is 1/5 share. Therefore, the remaining share is equal. Remaining share is equal 1 minus 1 by 5. Therefore, remaining share is equal 5 is common. 5 ones are 5 minus 1 is equal 4 divided by 5 is the remaining share. The step number 1. First we have to calculate the remaining share. Remaining share is equal 1 is common frequency minus 1/5 share, that is new partner share. Therefore, remaining share is equal 5 is the denominator base, what the value is given, same only consider as a base value. So, and we have to multiply from the denominator to the left hand side. 5 ones are 5, simple as it is minus, 1 ones are 1. Again, 5 minus 1, 4 divided by 5 is the remaining share that we have calculated in the step number 1. Let's move to the step 2. Calculation of NPSR. Already we have completed step 1. With the help of step 1, we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. So here the formula will be changed. NPSR is equal agreed ratio or agreed share into remaining share. Remaining share. Agreed share or agreed ratio into remaining share. So in the question we are given agreed ratio, old ratio, both are given. So old ratio we have to ignore. We have to ignore this value. Only we should consider new partner share. With the help of agreed ratio only, we have to consider under case number 1. So here, case number 4, it says that NPSR of P is equal, agreed ratio is 3 by 5, simple multiplication symbol product is given, into remaining share we have to calculate it 4 divided by 5. 4 divided by 5. Therefore, if the simple multiplication symbol is given middle of the two fractions, means we directly multiply with numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. 3 4s are 12 divided by 5 5s are 25. We have to get the first part plus NPSR of P is equal 12 divided by 25. Let's we have to move to the calculation of NPSR of the partner Q. NPSR of Q is equal agreed share. Agreed share into remaining share. Remaining share. Therefore, NPSR of Q is equal. NPSR of Q is equal. Agreed share is 2 divided by 5 into 4 divided by 5. Therefore, 4 2s are 8 divided by 25 is the new profit sharing ratio of Q. Like that, we have to NPSR of R is equal 1/5 share, or we should convert this one. NPSR of P, Q and R is equal 12 divided by 25 is to 8 divided by 25 is to, again 25 is common, 12 plus 8 20 minus 25, the difference is 5 we have to get. That means 5 will be multiplied with 5 times, we will get the 25 frequency. Therefore, NPSR be cancelled. Therefore, in PSR is equal 12 is to 8 is to 5. So, if these fractions will be divisible, means it should be cancelled. If it is not divisible, means these value only we should consider as a new profit sharing ratio. 5 will be divisible by one number, 8 will not be divisible. 8 will be divisible by one number, but 1 will not be divisible. If these two will be divisible by one number, but the third frequency will not be divisible. During that time, this value will be kept as a new profit sharing ratio of all partners. That is P, Q and R will be shared in future. The ratio 12 is to 8 is to 5. This will be considered as a new profit sharing ratio. So this is the question which belongs to the case number 4 related to the new profit sharing ratio in case of admission of a partner. I think you people have been understood in this exact question. So let's we have to discuss remaining concepts in the remaining classes also.